Hello there, welcome back to a brand new day here on Crafters TV. We were just trying to decide whether I look like a deck chair, an ice cream man, or a pizza chef. We can't decide. You let me know in the comments what you think I will come as today. It's such a pleasure to have your company. We are, of course, in the midst of our festive event, which we kind of just paused it, I think, for this morning because we are in the sewing room. We are talking about all things softer side this morning, which is fantastic. However, I am not here on my own. I'm here with the lovely Leanne. Everyone's going to get a free gift. I'll tell you more about that in a second. Once we've got a little bit of a once we let Leanne whet our crafty appetite slightly as what we can expect this morning from this softer side show. How are you, Leanne?
Well, hello, I'm so excited to be back, being allowed out in a softer side of life show. I absolutely love them. This is where I come to work and I just have a nice time. This isn't light work for me. I'm really excited, Joe. Love to be here with you. Personally, I think you look like an ice cream man.
Do you?
And that's my vote. You're going to be doing me a whippy with a flake in. And
do you want a 99 or a tuppenny lick?
I want a 99, please, with some monkey blood and some nuts.
Wow.
Thank you. Did you not have monkey's blood on your ice cream when you were a kid, Joe?
Monkey's blood?
Yeah, that's what you call the red strawberry sauce up in the northeast.
No.
Yes.
It was strawberry sauce, I think, where I came from.
No, it's monkey's blood. Sorry. Don't know why, but that's what we called it back in the 80s and the 70s when I was a girl. Again, we're just because the age difference, isn't it? That's
maybe. There isn't much of a gap, though, to be fair. We all know that you're in your early 30s, Leanne.
Of course, exactly. There's not that much of plus 20. Anyway, I've got some gorgeous stuff, Joe, and I can't wait to show you. We've got some really cool stuff, and we've got some stuff that you're going to have to be quick and hot on the heels of because it's just going to fly, I'm sure.
You are absolutely going to have to be. Right, I just want to start by saying everyone that places an order over £30 or $30 after their Club Inspired discount has been taken off will get a free gift. Now, today's free gift is an absolute corker. This is going to run for the next 2 weeks, so up until Sunday the 21st, we'll be doing a free gift every day. Today's is this, and it is your the Makery Craft Kit lampshade. Now, it's worth £19.99 or $27.99. So you spend $30, we send you another $27.99 worth of free gift. Now this would be great if you want to make it up yourself. You've got everything that you need in there to make a fabulous lampshade. It's all included for you. It's a complete project ready to go. I need to let you know though that already this morning, because obviously it's not just here on Crafters TV that this free gift applies, it's all across the business. 10% of the free gift has already sold out and gone this morning. So it's going to be a very, very busy day. Now, talking of things selling out and going, there's an amazing mystery bundle for you on the show. 10 metres of fabric, whole metre pieces for £40. It is a mystery bag. However, plot twist, I'm going to give you a spoiler here. All of our fabric here at Crafters Companion is absolutely delicious. So you're going to get 10 metre pieces, which is fantastic. I want to do that thing where you disappear. But you get 10 metre pieces. Now, the great thing is about metres, if you want to use these as fat quarters, cut them down. You get 4 fat quarters. You want to use them as fat eights, cut them down. You get 8 fat eights out of a metre. But the great thing is if you want to do larger projects, you want to do things like your dressmaking and, home decor, it's great to have the larger pieces. Now, this is going to sell out, and I think it's going to sell out in the first hour, even maybe the next half an hour. I'll quickly whiz you through. I've got a few different ideas of what you might be getting included here. So I'll just quickly whiz you through a few of them. How much of the stock has gone here? A quarter of the stock has already gone, but I know we don't have as many as we need. So I know that it's going to go quickly. So this is an idea of what you'll be getting in here. Of course, it's a lucky dip, but look at all the different variations. We've got some lovely florals in here. You've got some more plainer backgrounds within here as well. You've got some lovely patterns there as well. Great variation of colours and designs and styles as well. Did I say a quarter of the stock has gone? 40% now of the stock has gone. It is going really, really quickly. So if you want to get that, you need to be getting that in your basket. It'll be like, some days where we go, oh, it's 40%. Oh, sorry, now it's just gone. It's going to be one of those this morning. So, right, I know Leanne's got a demonstration plan. So I think we need to jump straight into that. Otherwise, we're not going to get to see that lovely demonstration. Loads of you saying hello this morning. I look more like a referee, apparently.
Oh, you do.
4. And that's an
Whistle.
umpire, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you know what I look like? Leanne on my first whistle. Someone says, let the fun begin. I love it. Joe, love you look. Leanne looks lovely. You look like you plan your outfits together today. I guess you do. Right, I'm going to let you crack on with the demonstration because I know you want to get it in before this sells out. Half the stock now of the Fabric Mystery Bundle has gone. It's going very, very fast.
I'm really not surprised. It's an exquisite bundle and the quality of this fabric is fantastic. And I just have to follow up with you first, Russell, and Gladiator Ready. I mean, honestly, that programme was fantastic. I couldn't not do I'm Ready, could I, to that little introduction. I adore this. The quality of it is exceptional. It's really premium quality, 100% cotton. Is that the same as cotton? Quilting fabric. That's cotton quilting fabric. Cotton is the abbreviation that I'm doing there. What we're going to do, actually, Joe, just quickly, because it isn't going to last, is we're going to do one of these fabulous little fabric organisation trays. I have loads of these at home and brilliant for when you're just, doing something on the desk and you've got your little bits at hand and you don't want them to go anywhere. I mean, you can see here, if you're a paper crafter, these are great. I've got little pots of glitter. I've got a spatula later for some glitter paste. But actually for sewists, I've got my little pin tin. I've got my stitch ripper. I've got all of my different feet that I'm using on a regular basis and they're just on my desk and easily accessible. I want to show you how easy it is to make one of those. So from my fabulous cottons, what I've done is cut myself 2 10-inch squares. Now you can see here, look, you've seen the size of the piece of fabric Joe had, and you can see the size 2 inches, 2 10-inch squares is. You're going to be able to make of these little baskets that I've got here a goodly amount for yourself and as gifts. So 2 10-inch squares. And you can just do that with your fabulous rotary trimmer that you see me talk to you about a couple of weeks ago and your craft mat. And then I've also done a little bit of this self-adhesive Finalizing wadding. It could be 100% cotton if you want to.
I love that you're going as quick as you possibly can.
Because I know
this
that
is
the
like
fabric's going.
speed crafting with Leanne. 65% now of the stock is gone.
See, that's why I'm galloping. I feel like I'm at a race and I'm not going to make the finish line. So 210. I'm slow down. Hang on. Breathe. Breathing, Joe. And I'm going to talk more. So I'm excited for you, and that's because I can hear that it's going, that you're just grabbing the fabric so quickly. 2 10-inch squares, and you're going to be able to make lots of these from that meterage that Joe showed you in that fabulous fabric bundle. Now, when you've got your 2 10-inch squares, we've also got this fabulous wadding on here, which is self-adhesive. If you haven't got self-adhesive wadding at home, use any wadding and use your stick and spray just to keep it still. Okay, so you want to keep that
we're
still.
going to... I'm really sorry, I need to let you know. We're going to let you finish the demonstration because I think it's only fair because everyone's got it, Leanne, but it has gone. Fabric bundle has gone.
See, that's why I was galloping.
I just knew it would go really, really quickly this morning. But right, we're going to... Well, I think it's only fair, don't you, if everyone's gone for it, that you finish the demonstration.
Do you
so
think?
there you
I
go.
think it's only fair as well. Oh, well, I can take my time now. We've got another 2 hours. I'm just going to be at my leisure and have a nice chat with you.
What
now,
I would say though is talking about being leisurely. Sorry, that was not the first sellout that we'll have. No. It's very busy across everything. And remember, the free gift is coming included as well, which I think is so busy all the way across. So, if you want to watch and shop at the same time, you can do that on our website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Right, I promise I'm not going to interrupt you again.
Okay, so I've got my 2 10-inch squares, and on the side of one of my 10-inch squares, I have got some Finalizing. If you don't have the self-adhesive one, the iron-on one, use your stick and spray, and just stick and spray your regular wadding to this side. And you can see what I've done is just cut the wadding slightly smaller by about 1/4 inch all the way around. That's just to help when you're sewing. You don't have to do that. What it does is keep the bulk out of your seams. So then what I'm going to do is take my 2 10-inch pieces and I'm just going to put them back to back. And make sure that I've got them lined up nicely. And then all I do, just to keep it still so that it doesn't shift, is I just pop a couple of pins in the middle. So I don't worry about pinning all around the outside. I'm not concerned about that. It's just, it's just basic straight line sewing. But just to kind of keep it still, I pop a couple of pins there. And then we go over to our machine. So I'm just literally going to sew round all 4 sides. But what I am going to do on the 4th side is leave a little gap for turning this inside out. Now, to remind myself, because I'm a good one for forgetting to do that, What I like to do is just put a pin about where I want to start the gap on the edge of my fabric, you can see there. And the reason I do that is I would never sew over a pin, so this will make me stop and take it out. It'll be a little visual reminder of, oh, I need to leave a gap to turn. If I don't do that, it has been known that I just go around all four sides and stitch it down like a coaster, and then I have to unpick. So just a little reminder for yourself. So you're going to start off with your sewing, you're going to back tack on all of the corners and just sew straight lines. Here we go.
Loads of people are commenting along, loads of people saying they're glad they managed to got it this morning. You managed to get that bundle. A lot of you did miss out though. I must say, I did give you fair warning. And as Sonia says in Louisiana, snooze you lose, y'all. So I did let you know it was going to go, and it did go. I didn't think it was going to go quite as quickly as it did though. I will agree. So loads of people saying snooze you lose has become the new sort of saying on Crafters TV when something sells out. Don't forget as well, if you love me and Leanne together, great news. If you don't like us together, then bad news, we are back again later tonight. But we have got a world exclusive launch tonight, haven't we, Leanne? In our launch party show. You won't have seen it on HSN, you won't have seen it here in the UK on Create and Craft, nowhere else has it. It's our, I'll let you tell them what it is, Leanne.
So this our fabulous brand new Christmas quirky sentiments. And the quirky sentiments, when we had them, when they first launched, the non-Christmas ones, they flew out. And these Christmas ones, in my opinion, are so much better than those original ones. Not that the original ones aren't fabulous, they are, but the design that we've managed to achieve on these is really, really fantastic. I love them, Joe. Now, you see, I'm just coming up to my pin there, so I've stopped. My little visual reminder of the fact that I need to leave a gap, Joe. So what I'm just going to do before I continue talking about those quirky sentiments is explain what I'm doing next. So I've stopped where I'm going to leave my little gap, and I'm going to back tack and then come forward again a little bit. And you see I've slowed my speed, and the reason I like to do that is I've reinforced that little gap, so when I turn it inside out it doesn't rip. And then I just pick up my fabric, pick up my needle, and I like to cut my fabric away there. Then I move it further down, so I've left about 3 inches as a gap, and then I do exactly the same again. So I go forward, back tack, and forward again, and that just reinforces that little space that I've left. And then I just join this up down the other side here. And I do like to back tack even on the corners, because you want your corners to be nicely reinforced. And then that is the main bit of sewing done.
How fabulous. Yes, so even if you're in the US, what I would say is that if you're in the US, you're not going to be able to get these sentiments until July's craft day. So I mean, they're a long way away. In the UK they're not launching to the weekend, but you can grab them. I'm not allowed to tell you that the deal's live right now over on the website, so I won't tell you that if you went across to the launch party show later and placed your order now, you'd be able to order them right now. I can't tell you that, can I, Leanne?
No, please don't say that, Joe, because
Thanks.
that's confidential information. That's just between me and you.
Kerry asks, Leanne, Joe, I've got a generic drafting foot. Can I use this on the Stitch Pro, or do I need to get the one on the show?
Nope, you can use your generic feet on the sewing machine. It has a long shank, so as long as it's a long shank foot, you'll be absolutely fine.
So is a long shank the same as a high shank?
Yes.
Or is it a low shank?
No, yes.
A low shank?
No, yes. God, now I'm confused.
It is a low shank.
It's got a long bit.
Because the high... low shank.
Low shank,
It is low
excellent.
shank, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we get there together.
We do get there in the end.
We do get there together. There's if you want the free motion feet for the machine, the low and the high shank feet are both available at the moment over on the website. So we'll get to those very, very soon. They're half price as well, which is fantastic. Loads of you in the UK have been up watching HSN, it would seem from the comments today. So I mean, you're that dedicated. I love it. It warms my cockles. It really, really does. A lot of you did miss out on that fabric bundle as well. For those of you that don't know what cockles are, I'm just realising in the US, cockles are like a shellfish, aren't they? They're kind of like a little like a little baby clam almost. But it's a turn of phrase here in the UK. You know, it warms your cockles. It means it warms your soul from within.
Yes, it's a lovely turn of phrase, isn't it? Now I'm going to top stitch it. So I've turned in, you see me turning my little edge where I turned it inside out. I poked the corners out with my bone folder, which I use my papercraft bone folder for that all the time. Use a chopstick if you've got one, if you haven't got a papercraft bone folder. And now what I've done, because I've turned that in, is I'm going to just top stitch all the way around, Joe. Okie
doke. Right, I need to come back and I need to give you a warning about the free gift. No one puts Joe in the box. Here I am. 20% of your free gift has now sold out and gone. We didn't just have like a half dozen of these or a handful of these, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Yesterday's free gift totally sold out. It was a clear overlay sparkle pens, completely sold out. I don't know how many of these we've got until the later show. And the thing is, if we don't have hundreds of these still when we get to launch party, then I won't be able to talk about it. So I do hope we've got enough stock to last a day. 20% of the stock has gone. It's worth $19.99 if you're in the UK. It's worth $27.99 if you're in the US. You've got to just spend £30 or $30 after your Club Inspired discount before your shipping, and then we will just pop that in there. You don't need to do anything either. It just automatically appears in your basket when you reach that spend threshold, which is fantastic. So definitely don't miss out on that. Everyone that went for the 10 metre fabric bundle, which is on your screen at the moment, it has now sold out and gone, will get one of these, which is fantastic.
Right, I'm just on the home straight now, Joe. I'm on my last little, just taking off my long threads, on my last little stretch. And when it's straight lines like this, I do like to just go for it. But you know, if you're not confident with your fast sewing yet, then don't go for it. There we are. So I've gone and top stitched all the way around, and I'll cut all of my little threads off in a minute, because now I just want to show you how we're going to make that little basket, and it really is quite simple. And if I just take all of my bits out here, I'm going to show you on the finished one.
And Leanne, I think I'm right in saying you can make this with any of the fabrics from our website, can't you? So, and there's always, there's hundreds and hundreds of fabrics on our website. So even though you missed out on the bundle, go over there and have a look. We've got everything from our own brand fabrics right through to like Liberty print fabrics. There's so much choice over there, and you can do this with all of them, which is great.
Yeah, so to get those fabulous little kind of rabbit ear corners, as I call them, because I just always think it looks like you just need some eyes and a nose and you've got a cute character there, you're just folding it in half into a triangle and then stitching down the corner, and it does it for you. Could not be more simple. So what I'll do is I'll just fold this in half, so I've got a triangle, and then I just hold that still with my pin again so that it doesn't move. I've got a pen, and I've got my ruler, and it doesn't matter the depth you do as long as you do the same depth on all four corners. Okay, so this one was done at 1.5 inches. I'm actually going to do this one deeper, so you can see how you can make a deeper basket with higher sides by just making the triangle that you saw longer, if that makes sense. In my head
now I'm singing You Pin Again to the tune of You Win Again for some reason. I don't know why. I'm having a very, very musical Tuesday today. Loads of you commenting along. Danny says he struggles with a binding. Any tips on binding? Maybe we'll have a little bit of chat about that as we go through the hour.
Yes, absolutely, we can.
And loads of you, I'd love to know what you're all up to, what you're crafting today. Let me know. I'm monitoring the conversation over on Crafters TV, so that is where you can come and have a chat with me. I'd love to see any pictures as well of anything that you've been working on at the moment, which is always very easy to send us those. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you need to send them into. Along the bottom of your screen over there, any of your projects that you've been up to, we would love to see them. Also remember, there is a craft vault in this show. It's going to be coming up towards the end of this show, but all the deals are live right now over on the website in the Softer Side of Life show. And what I would say is some of them are very, very low in stock. And also, it's one of your favourites too. It's when we do the buy one, get one free on everything in the craft vault. So I'm looking forward to taking you through that. And there's loads of different stuff within there too. So go check that out on the website.
So you see here how I've made that, and that's now a little square one. So I would do exactly the same here, and I've got massive long rabbit ears, but I'll have a much more deep and square basket. And if I'd started with a bigger square, that would be much higher and wider. So I just wanted to show you how varying the depth could make a difference. And when you've done that on all 4 sides, you've got a really lovely little tray, and you can pop all of your pieces inside.
Oh,
Could
what
not
a
be more
really
simple.
fabulous.
So then you would just go and do the same here, you see, Joe. So you would fold that there in half, measure in, sew it down.
Can you take the excess off if you wanted to?
You could, absolutely.
Do you know what I'm thinking you could make?
What?
You know, in the summer, they're not really very big in the UK, but when I was in Thailand, they're absolutely everywhere. And they have like, because all the beer is in bottles, so they have beer bottle holders. And they're basically like a little piece of, like a piece of foam really, that they slot the beer in and give it to you. You could make your own fabric ones, couldn't you? It keeps the moisture basically from the bottle.
Absolutely, you could. No reason why you couldn't do that at all. It's just, I think it's really nice to be able to see. You see how I've still got that little square there when I do that, and it's higher. Now, you might not want these great big lugs sticking out the side, but you know what I do sometimes as well, if I just explain that to you so you don't have to see it. What I do is then I fold this round and I tack it in place. And so you get like a little origami basket. So if I show you, can you see here? And then you fold that round and tack that in place. And then if I've done my other lugs, I've just got a nice square basket.
That's lovely.
With higher sides. Do you see what I mean by that?
Yeah, so many different things you can do with it then, from that one shape, which is fantastic. Lynn's watching. She's making 2 new baby girl pop-up box cards. That sounds rather fabulous. Now, Softer Side of Life, we always love to hear from our friends. Now, we're not hearing from John Scott today. He hasn't sent us a video. And we might, normally we might be a bit upset by that, but do you know what? He hasn't sent us a video because he's back. That's right, he's going to be back in the studio next week. We're relaunching John Scott's Sewing World. That will be here, I believe, from 9 till 11 in the morning. And then, Softer Side of Life, John will also be here as well with whoever else is presenting Softer Side. So he might be here with Sarah, he might be here with Leanne. So John will be here for these 4 hours as of next week, which is fantastic. But we thought we still need to have some friends on the show, so why don't we hear from Lizzie? Now, I just want to give you a heads up on what Lizzie's going to be sharing with us. It is these fabulous quilting pattern guides. Now, a great deal on this. You're saving more than you're spending here with this one. Those quilting gloves are never ever in stock as well. I don't know how we've managed to do this deal. You will need a low shank foot or a high shank foot, a free motion foot to go with it, but I'll tell you about that after we've heard from the lovely Lizzie Curtis.
Hi everybody, welcome to my workroom. It's so lovely to share my space with you today. Just real quick look at these fantastic quilting guides. So these are going to help you quilt your fabulous patchwork designs once you've layered them all up. We've got set 1 and set 3 and they're absolutely super. You can see that we've actually got 5 different designs on these. I mean, it's just incredible value for money. You've got the paisley and you've got the circle, but also when you look at them, and you can see them quite clearly next to me, how many different shapes there are. Now you might think mine are a little bit mucky. They're not. They've got a bit of spray on there because I love to use our spray to hold our rulers and things down, but this actually has a non-grip surface, which is fantastic because when we put it under the machine, it will actually grip our fabric for us. But I'll tell you what else you need. If you can get hold of these quilting gloves that we have, then that is absolutely a must-have to go with the pattern guides. So if I show you how it works, they're really easy. And it's like anything else, you need to practice. You're never going to learn anything overnight. So you get these home, get some scrap fabric and practice. Now look, even if you're using scrap fabric, you need the top layer, which is the blue, which is stuck to my wadding, and then you need a bottom layer. Let me see if I can hold that up and split them. So because they're all stuck with stick and spray. So you've got your wadding, your top layer and your bottom layer as well. And that's kind of representing your quilt. So even if you're going to do a rough design, I would say still do all those layers. You need to have that bulk to get this to work properly. So I've got my ruler foot on there, and this one's great because it has a little side cut out of it so your threads can come right out of the way. So that's brilliant, and that goes with the Stitch Pro. And if I put my little ruler on the top here, bring my foot down, and I can just place my needle down into the fabric, and of course with Stitch Pro I can just do that manually anyway. I can ask it to hold the needle down, which is really important. So I can then start stitching. It's so easy. So I'm literally following the design. I'm using the paisley, and I would say use the paisley first, because it really is, it's in the centre of this design. Look, needle down, and I can just swivel that around if I want to. Bring my hands around and adjust. Because it's in the centre, it kind of butts up to the edge, so it means that you can really control what you're doing, and then you can bring your needle right back up to the starting point and leave it down, and then you've created your first bit of stitch. And if I was to move that around, we can then start layering and start making flowers. And of course you can move your pattern guide, you can move your fabric to suit you. So maybe I want to put my next design there. So then I can just make sure my needle's down, make sure my needle is right and the foot right up against the top of that design there. You know you're going to stitch 1/4 of an inch away from this line. So instead of doing it as I had it, if I bring it in slightly, I know that my stitches will come very, very close to that white edge there. So if I do it, then you'll see what I mean. So coming round again, and go quite speedy, but move your fabric slowly. If you do speedy and you move your fabric too quickly, then you might get too big a stitch. But then if you do it too slowly, you might break a needle. So just come around, come around, come around, right back up to the top again. And there we've created our second flower there. So easy peasy. If you want to do something on the edge of these guides, then all you're going to do is take your fabric out, take your pattern guide away, so you can see how that looks, and you can build up a flower really easily within a 12.5 inch block. But say you want to do one line, so we'll choose this one here that has the sort of ziggy-zaggy. I'm just looking at the other ruler, see if I'm going to want to use that one. Now I will start on that line there. Do you see it's got all those grids and markers? So I'm going to start here, and that's my guide. So, and this is why we call them pattern guides, because they're guiding you. Now you may want to use there's a stitch line to help you here. You might want a draw line, entirely up to you. So again, we just put the needle down, and that's our starting point. Try and keep your threads out of the way, and then all you're doing is following that shape, and you're allowing the foot to actually kind of nest itself, if you like, against that shape. And all you're doing is following that design all the way around. And then come up to that half point there, where there's a little black mark again. So all you're doing is matching up those little black marks, and you're continuing with that design. So it's very, very easy to actually keep on going. You could do a whole length of a quilt just using this one little zigzag design. And there we are. So those are our pattern guides. They are absolutely sensational. They have that non-slip on the back. They have all those different designs on them, so lots and lots of choices, so great value for money. And of course, like everything else, just have a little practice, keep at it and enjoy. So back to you in the studio.
Ah, the lovely Lizzie there. Always such a pleasure to have her join us here on the Softer Side of Life. People are talking in the comments. Rennie says a koozie is what keeps your beverage cold. There's no danger of your beverage getting warm here in the northeast this week. I can say we are in the middle of summer, and the maximum temperature for the next 2 weeks is 19 degrees Celsius and just rain. We even had a little garden party planned for Friday, didn't we, Leanne?
We did have a
What's happened
garden
to that?
party. It's been rained off.
It has.
Because we can't be in the garden at 2 meters distance with umbrellas and raincoats, and I mean really there's just going to be no fun in that, is there? So we're going to wait till it's warm and then have our little garden party.
Yes, absolutely. We have had to postpone due to the weather. Right, I just want to recap this deal right here that you are getting. So a really fabulous value. Remember, you're saving more than you're spending. It should be £57 almost. In the UK today, it's £28. So you get 2 of the rulers included within here. Someone did say, Lynn said, Lizzie looked like a mime actor in that last video there. You could be your own mime act as well if you want to, because you're going to get the quilting gloves included too, which is fantastic. These are always so busy individually. 10% of the stock of this bundle has sold out and gone. Don't forget as well that you need either the low or the high shank foot for your machine, the free motion foot. What I would say is both of our machines are a low shank foot, and what I'd say is probably 95% of commercial machines on the home machines on the market are a low shank foot as well. If you've got something like the sort of Big Brother CM7 or whatever, the V7, that would be like a high shank foot, those big commercial machines. So yeah, don't forget those. Right, are we going to have a look at the builder banner next? Because it is very, very busy for this. It's really, really fantastic. Now, what you've got really is a multimedia alphabet die system. And I call it a system and not a set because what it actually allows you to do is construct your own letters. It's very clever because you imagine really nice big dies like this. If we had to bring you a whole alphabet of them, it would cost so much money. And that's fine. We would love to do that, but it is cost prohibitive. So what they've done is designed a die system where you can actually create all the letters, but you don't need all the letters as well. Now, because these are our rose gold multimedia dies, it means that not only can you cut things like fabric with them, you can also cut a whole host of other things, from balsa wood to craft foam to craft metal. Even soda and pop cans can be cut using those dies as well. So you think about not just in a sewing way, just the sheer amount that those are going to do for you. That investment of $19.99 or $27.96 is minimal compared to the things that you're going to be able to do with that. Right, also up next, is it the Bloom Builder? Now these are fantastic. So lovely little collection that you've got here. So you've got these really lovely, again, multimedia dies, so perfect for using your fabric, not just fabric, but multiple layers of fabric to make these beautiful flowers. Now I think these are so Scandi chic. You're going to love these. They're going to be great as applique pieces. I think even if you didn't sew, you could create something brilliant with this, because cut them out, a little bit of our stick and stay, our fabric adhesive on there. You're going to be able to pop them onto cushions or garments or a whole host of different things. Now you're also going to get the vintage blooms fat quarter, sorry, the charm pack, 36-piece charm pack. So it's perfect because they're all, it's basically like what we've done is we've pre-cut these to allow you to use them with the dies, because the dies will fit perfectly over your charm pack. You get those included as well. Was it 15% of the stock gone here already? So very, very busy on those. You'll be seeing those demonstrated a little bit later in the show. But we need to have a moment. We need to just take a moment just to appreciate the beauty that is this Threaders glitter paste. Now, you don't need to be a sewer at all to use this. I've made Eurovision t-shirts using this in the past. They were phenomenal. As long as you've got stencils, if you can butter toast, you can craft with this, basically, is the way to say. Let me just bring this in. Someone, no names mentioned, Sarah Davis, has been doing a bit of double dipping in this red one. But can you just see... Oh, look at how gloriously shiny this is. It is amazing. So you get this one here, you get the red one. You're going to get, let me take you through all the options that you get included. So you're going to get all of these lovely colours. You've got 6 whole pots, 70 mils in each of them. So you've got the green, the red, the silver. You've got the gold, the copper or orange, can't remember what we're calling it. It's called rustic copper, makes sense. And you've got that lovely azure blue as well. Now, individually, these should be on their own. Let me just double check the price for you. They're on their own individually. They are $7.99 or $9.95. You're only paying for 2 and a bit of these, and we're going to send you the rest of them completely free of charge. It's an unbelievable deal that we've got for you. How much of the stock's gone here? 20% of the stock has gone. Look at some of the things that you're able to achieve with these. They are just beautiful. So you've got lovely mandalas here done with this. The gold is just a massive pop of colour, and it's the way in which they catch the light. Also, they are, believe it or not, machine washable as well, and Leann will tell us more about that as we go through the show. But check out the bling on that. These are great, aren't they, Leann? And so versatile, which is amazing.
Oh my word, I'm with you, Joe. These are one of my favourite things in the whole entire world, ever and ever, amen. They are just so superior in quality. The bling that you get and what you can do with them is incredible. So we're going to look at the application technique, and then I'm going to talk to you about what you would do to set that, what you can then do to wash that if you want to, and then we're going to explore some different ways of using it and just be inspired with different bits and bobs. And we're actually going to make a finished product without glitter paste today, and I'm going to give it away on my Facebook page later, so you could be in with a chance of winning or receiving that. So what I've got is I've just got a piece of plain cotton fabric so that you can see what happens underneath. You can see the magic. However, I have used my glitter stencils over patterned fabric. So if you got that bundle before, to have a lovely pattern and then put some glitter highlights on it. And I've just done that with a brush and stippled. I'll show you that in a second because it doesn't have to be all about the stencils. Let me just say that to you. So what I've done on this stencil is I have sprayed again with our stick and spray for fabric, which is our repositionable adhesive. So that has all been sprayed ready, and then this gets pushed down onto the piece of fabric that I'm using, and I like to make sure that I get a good seal on that. Now at home, what I would be doing right now is I'd be using some masking tape, and I'd be masking these sides so that if my glitter paste does get moved across as I'm applying it, I'm not contaminating the fabric around the outside. That might be part of my project, but for speed I'm not going to do that. Joe, you get to choose the colour, my darling. Which colour?
I want, what colour is the base fabric?
It's grey.
Can we go for one or can we go for two?
You can have two if you would like.
Can we go for the copper? I love the copper and the silver together.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh no, actually not the silver because it's grey, isn't it?
Do you want to do, what about blue?
Copper and blue.
Copper and blue might
Lovely,
be nice.
yes,
Because
that's
they're opposing colours on the colour wheel, so they'll actually go together nicely, look. So we've got the blue and the copper. Right, now mine are box fresh. There's been no double dipping going on in mine. In fact,
when I worked in a restaurant, we used to make our own ice cream, and if someone doubled, because you'd taste it. Was I wearing this shirt? Someone asked. I tell you what, I mean, it would have fitted right, wouldn't I? But we used to have this big ice cream machine that made the ice cream, and you could taste the ice cream, Leanne, but you obviously had to have a fresh spoon to taste the ice cream, because if you put the spoon in your mouth, there was no way you could put it back in. And
can I have your blue one, Joe? My blue one I
Yeah.
can't get open. I'm just a weakling.
I think my blue one is
There you
box
are.
fresh as well. Let me have a
Is
look.
it
Oh yeah, my blue one's open.
So I'm
Shall I
going to
swap
tell you
you?
what's happened with the blue one, right? It hasn't, I will swap and then I'll explain what's happened. There's mine, there's yours. Thank you, darling. Right, so what's happened is when this little plastic lid's been put back on, there's been glitter paste all around the rim, so it hasn't been cleaned away. And then when that's been put back on, because it's an adhesive that sets with heat, it's now sealed shut, and I need to get a craft knife in there and lever it off. And you don't need to watch me doing that. But what I do before I put this away is I've got a bit of kitchen towel or a damp cloth, and I just wipe that rim before I put this back on, and that means that your little plastic lid comes off easily. I think it's a good idea just to cover that with you all so you don't get into that same little predicament that I got myself into earlier. So I've got my two colours there. And we're going to go with the blue first. So exactly as Joe said, if you can spread butter on toast, you can apply this glitter paste. So
For
I'm just
me,
giving
when
it a
I
little
was
mix.
using these, Leanne, it was about having the right... Oh, excuse me, I don't have no frog in my throat. It was about having the right tools,
Yes.
making sure you've got a repositionable adhesive,
Yes.
making sure as well that you've masked off and that you've got a spatula. Don't try and do it with like a knife from the kitchen or a credit card or something else. Get yourself the right spatula and get yourself some repositionable adhesive would be my top tip with
It
this.
really does make a difference. And you'll notice that I'm actually, as I'm putting it on, I'm taking it off as well. I'm scraping it because actually I don't want to waste any of this gorgeous glitter. And so you see a tiny little scoop actually is going an awful long way because I'm able to apply it, make sure that I've got it in that stencil, scoop it as I go along, reapply it, and I can get that to go a really good amount of way. But of course you don't waste it anyway, because when you pick that up, if you want to, you can pop it back in your pot. So you just get a little bit more, and then I'm going to start with the copper.
It's
So,
beautiful,
and I want to like
isn't it?
ombre, so I want little bits of blue where the copper's going to pick up, and then it'll blend together ombre more effectively, Joe.
It is really, really beautiful. Loads of you. I'd love to know if any of you have tried our glitter paste before.
Yeah.
They really are fantastic. Just a note then, Leanne. How do we? Because these are washable. Is that correct?
They are. So once you've done this, I've got another piece done which I'm going to show you when we come to do to a project. So you get your glitter all applied as we're doing here, and then you leave it to dry naturally, and you'll need to leave it for half an hour to 45 minutes.
Okay.
I like to leave mine for an hour. Okay, so just to be on the safe side, but half an hour to 45 minutes and you should be good to go. At that point, what I like to do is get a piece of baking parchment. So, you know, just the stuff that you line your baking trays with at home. And I put that over the design and heat set it with a heat that the hottest heat the fabric can take. And as long as I've got my parchment over the top, it isn't going to stick to it and it isn't going to spoil the design. If you haven't got any parchment, you can iron it on the reverse.
Okay.
So you could do that. And once you've heat set it, with a heat as hot as the fabric that you're putting the glitter on can take, then it is washable at 30 degrees in a washing machine.
Fantastic. That's always good to know. Sonia says, can the paste be used on cardstock?
It can.
Absolutely, it can. And I was surprised it'll go on things that are really, really porous. So even things like Hessian you can put it on, can't you?
Yes.
And all of those kind of really open weave fabrics, linens and all sorts of things.
Absolutely. And if you've got, now this is where your double dipping would happen. So you see I'm scraping the copper across my blue. So if you don't want to put this back in your copper pot and get a little bit of blue in there, and I've got a mixture, what I've got is a little jam jar at home and I just scrape this in. And then I've got like full on multicolour confetti type glitter that I can use on other projects if I want to. So I'm just going to wipe that away from my spatula rather than put my spatula back in the pot.
Do you know what always I love about this as well is that it's the glitter that's the colour within here. I know that sounds ludicrous and it doesn't sound like it's important whatsoever, but it really is, because what it means is when you mix the two together, you don't get some sort of mushed up colour of orange and blue. You've got orange glitter in there and you've got blue glitter in there. So it's not like an ink where the two would just muddy together, and that gives you so many more options, doesn't it, Leanne?
Do you know, absolutely fantastic point that, Joe, because if I put these two colours together in an ink or a liquid, I would have a horrible brown as a result, and I won't. I will have the ombre between the blue and the copper, exactly as you say. So we're going to peel this off now. We've got it, all the glitter. I think I've managed to find all the little holes from what I can see. So if we just peel this up gently, and you see I'm just holding my fabric still, peeling in one direction. Don't stop doing it. Don't stop peeling. Catch your fabric and then lie it flat.
Look at that.
Then look at the result you've got there. Absolutely exquisite. The depth, the dimension. Can I bring this up to my close-up so you can get in and see that? Look at this here. If I hold that, look at the sparkle when I wiggle that at you. You can see the dimension that is on there is absolutely incredible. It's, oh, hang on, I'm coming this way. There we are. It's truly beautiful. Look at that little bit of copper that's just flashing in the flame there with the blue. It's beautiful, Joe, isn't it? So
I love the extra bit of copper you've got on the other side there. So it's just beautiful the way it all works out.
Yes, it looks lovely, doesn't it?
And you could do it with all the colours if you wanted to. No, nothing to stop you putting a bit of one on, going over again. There's loads you can do.
No.
A few questions on this. Rosalind saying iron with or without steam?
Without.
Without steam.
Yes,
perfect.
Without.
Do the spatulas have to be plastic, says Stacey? No, you can use a metal one. I used a metal one when I did it. If you've got those sort of artist spatulas, they're absolutely perfect, the little wooden handled ones. Or you can use a plastic one. You'll find them. It doesn't really matter. What is best though is that don't try and use a knife. And I also seen people use a knife. And like a store card is the other thing I've seen people use all the time. That's not what you want to be doing. You want to make sure you've got the right tool for the job. A quarter of the stock of the glitter paste have sold out and gone. You are saving more than you're spending on these glitter pastes, which is easy to see why they've sold out and gone. And again, wonderful, I think, if you want to do some soft crafting, Leanne, but you're not a sewer. You don't need to be a sewer with this, do you? You can add with some stencils. A lot of you that are paper crafters will already have so many stencils. You can add all of those stencil designs that you already have to things like cushions, or you know, to the even onto things like shirts and bags and a whole host of different things.
Right, so I wanted to show you just very quickly. I've got a little bag I'm going to make for you where I've stenciled. It's fabulous. and that's what I'm going to give away. But actually, I've just got a piece of pattern fabric here, and I've just, honestly, Joe, I'm sorry, I've cut it so badly, I've just lopped a lump off while you were talking. I mean, look at that. I mean, literally, look at the state of that. I've literally took my scissors and lopped a lump off. But if you've got some beautiful fabric at home and you want to make something with it, but have a lovely glitter highlight on there, I'm actually going to paint it on, Joe. So look, I've got a little paintbrush and I've got my glitter pot, and look what I can do. I can just detail application, plop the glitter on there with my little brush, and I can do my glitter highlights. Now, if you don't want to use the brush part, you can use the end of your brush, and actually having something firmer can allow you to get in a little bit more precisely. You see, all I'm doing is
using it like this, Leanne.
Yeah, dabbing it on. It's great. And then just take your time and have something small, and it will take a little bit of time to do it, but brilliant for your little spots on your patterned fabrics as well. So if you haven't got stencils and you don't want stencils, but you do want some lovely little glitter highlights on stuff on your designs, you can do it in that way if you would like to. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that quickly. The other thing I do is I use my paper craft dies, and I cut out alphabets, what have you, make from acetate, make my own stencils, stencil names onto t-shirts. Absolute, just possibilities endless. Now, what I've got here is...
Oh, I'm thinking, Leanne,
yeah,
which is never a good thing normally. These multimedia dies, the banner ones,
yeah,
they'll cut a whole host of things, won't they?
Yes.
They'll even cut... I'm imagining even things like Doflex would probably be cut with these, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Doflex means that you could make your own alphabet stencils using those. Or even if you didn't have Doflex, you could cut it out of... What else could you cut it out of? I'm thinking foam, or even something like mount board even, Leanne, maybe using those big dies?
Absolutely can. And actually, I'm just going to do it on a little piece here while you mention that. And I'm going to waste this bit of fabric. Just have to forgive me. But do you know what you could do? I'm just getting my spatula again. Where have I put it? Here it is here. And another colour. Let's just go with the gold again because it'll stand out. Or the blue. Let's go blue. Sorry, I just even... Do you see that?
I can see the cogs whirring. Yes. I can hear them. I can feel them even, Leanne.
So I've got a little piece of fabric here. Now, this could be a little or a big piece. It's entirely up to you. But just for the demonstration purposes, I've then got my glitter paste, and I'm going to scoop up a little bit and actually just lie it flat on the fabric. So I'm just covering the fabric with the glitter paste, right? And I'm doing it nice and smoothly. So you can see, here we go. Now, what you would do here is, and I'm going to show you how to make this little bag as well, you're just going to leave that to dry. Okay? And once you've left it for your 30 to 40 minutes and let it dry, if you do this on a bigger piece, you can now die cut this in applique it with any of the fabric dies that you've got at home. And you can sew them on and stick them in place, because what you've effectively made is a piece of beautiful glitter fabric, but that is sealed and has a water resistant coating. You could then, if you wanted to, do a whole piece and have a whole glitter strip on a bag. You could make glitter binding, do glitter applique.
A glitter strip sounds like something completely different, I won't lie.
Yeah, a glitter strip, well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, well, you know, let's live and let live, Joe. That's what I say, live and let live. But once that's dry, you've made custom glitter fabric, and you can do all of your die cutting and using it in your projects if you want to. So this is what I mean about just let your imagination go wild and think about different ways you could use it.
Yeah, and it is really one of those products that the more you use it, the more, well, creativity breeds creativity. Remember, just for the one pot, it should be $7.99 or $9.95. That would be great value. However, what you've got today is 6 pots, and you're going to get all 6 pots for £23 or $28. 30% of the stock has gone. Your saving here is amazing. You're saving more than you're spending with that one, which is fantastic. Don't forget as well that you need to spend over £30 or $30 because we want everyone to get their free gift. So today's free gift is the lampshade kit, craft kit from the Makery. Now this is great. You could make this up yourself, or you could just give this away as a free gift. 30% however of this has sold out and gone. All you need to do is make sure you've got £30 or $30 worth of products in your cart once your Inspire discount has been taken off, and it will automatically appear. If it doesn't automatically appear, if you're watching this show back later in the day, it means the free gift has sold out and gone. We're going to be bringing you a free gift every single day over our Christmas event, because that is what we are running here at the moment. Not a lot of Christmas in this show, I'll give you that, because we're on a festive pause, but we're still giving you the gift because we are, of course, talking softer side as well. Now, loads of you with these shows always really love the demonstrations and want to give them your full attention. Now, we're finishing off first. I'm jumping the gun. I don't know what it is. I did a half day yesterday, and now today I'm obviously out of practice, Leanne. I'm trying to jump the gun.
Do you know what? I'm going to show you how to make something with the glitter paste, because I think it's great to be inspired with what it looks like on the different materials, but to see something physically made with it and understand what you do at home is a different thing. So what I did was get prepared this fabulous panel where just on some navy fabric I've used a stencil in that amazing goldy copper colour and just stenciled that onto the side here. And then I've got this already. This is going to be a zipped cosmetic bag. Or a gadget bag, a sewing project bag, whatever you want. And I've started to get my back ready here. So just to explain to you what I've done, I've got a piece of blue, which is the backing. I've got my inside, which is from that lovely fabric bundle that sold out earlier. Sorry, but if you got it, then you can do this. And then what I did was, and this zips on a roll. This is coming up in your craft vault, Joe. I pinched a bit of your zip as well. When you were at the loo, love, I popped in
I'll just give you a heads up, you can get 4 rolls of zips in the craft vault a little bit later.
Yeah.
For $15.99 for 4 rolls, which is amazing. 2 pink, 2 different types of blue. Lots of you shopping ahead for the craft vault at the moment as well. There's a lot of stuff in the craft vault is quite low price. So if you're going for something like the glitters and you need to just add something in to get it to £30 or $30 to get that free gift, a lot of you are doing that. That's why a fifth of the stock of the zips have already sold out and gone. You can shop all of the craft vault items right now over on the website.
Okay, so all I did was take my zip on a roll and I lay that down flat onto my lining. I lay my piece of blue fabric on top and then I stitched so that I'm checking it's correct, so that when I fold this over and fold that there, you can see I've got an encased piece of zip there. So that's the back that I've got ready. You'll have seen lots and lots of these bag demonstrations before. Now what I need to do is stitch the front on, which is my fabulous glitter panel and my other piece of insert. Now just to make sure that I'm getting it in the right direction, I like to turn all the fabric round so I can see that my zip's encased there, my lining is facing the table and my outside is facing me. I then take my glitter panel and put that face down on top. Putting it face down on top and lining it up with the top of the zip there means that I've now got that in the correct direction for when I stitch and secure my zip in place. I then turn that over, take my lining, put that face down on top of the lining there so I know everything's in the correct place. Again, at the top of that piece of zip, just use a couple of pins just to keep it still, and then I'm going to stitch down that zipped edge, Joe. And I'm going to change my foot on my machine to a zip foot.
Okay, whilst you're getting that set up, Leanne,
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a couple of, I want to get everyone, let everyone know how we're doing this one. It's very, very busy. I think since we've introduced the free gift this week, it has gone absolutely bonkers, off the chart busy. So don't forget, £30 or $30 worth of product will get you this, but 30% of that stock has gone. Now, I want to remind you of a few bits. The quilting pattern guides, very, very busy there. Remember, you get both sets of them. That means you can achieve 12 different shapes using those. How much of the stock's gone here? 40%. You get the gloves included within there as well, so you can pretend to be a mime or a Michael Jackson tribute act, whatever you prefer. But yeah, 40% of a big stock there has sold out and gone, so you need to be quick for those. Don't forget as well, you will need to have your free motion feet to use them as well. Whether it's the high shank or the low shank, pretty much everyone, I think, will be on the low shank machine. That is what most machines will take. Very, very busy on those there as well. £28 or $34 if you want to go for those ones. How are you getting on there, Leanne?
I've almost got my zip in.
Do you sew over your pins or do you remove them?
Remove them.
Okay. Because it's a very divisive subject, you know.
It is. Do you know what? When I first started, I watched a couple of online demonstrations where the demonstrators were saying, if you've got your pins in horizontal, just sew over them, it'll be fine. Your needle will skip over them, nothing will happen. I was like, oh, great, that's what I'll do. Clunk. It's killed a needle. No. So I learned my lesson harshly. And so I've never ever done that again. So what I've done is just stitch that zip in place from the layout that I explained to you. So you see, if I turn that over now, I've got my 2 lining pieces and I've got my 2 outside pieces there, my front and back. So all I do now is, first things first, is I pull my zipper into the middle, because if I don't pull my zipper in, what will happen there is I'll have nothing to turn the bag through and the zipper will be out here and I'll have closed the bag up. So always pull your zip in. Then you join your 2 backside pieces together there and you join your 2 lining pieces like that. So you've got your 2 lining, your front and back, and then you just leave a hole here to turn exactly as we did with our dish, and you go around all 4 sides. So we're just going to stitch round all 4 sides, plump, all the way around the whole rectangle, leaving a gap to turn. That's what I'm going to do now.
Fantastic. Lots of you are loving this. Stephen says, loving the look of that you're making. It's fabulous. Ray says, had one break and one hit me in the face, so she never takes a chance again after that. Just saying. Linda as well. Talking about the free gift there. Tom is saying, good morning from Ohio. Tom. Rosalind saying she has that stencil that you've used there on that project, and it's absolutely lovely. Very, very busy. Lots of you watching along. Don't forget as well, myself and Leanne will be back later with a... You know you've had a slight weight gain, Leanne, when your bum ends up knocking part of your product display over. We'll be back later as well with a world exclusive launch, me and Leanne. So make sure you join us for a very, very festive launch party later this evening. That's going to be amazing. We can't wait for that as well. Don't forget there'll be a different gift every day as well over this 2-week Christmas event, which is fantastic. And it all culminates on the 21st with a Second Chance Sunday, a bonanza, a festive Second Chance Sunday on the 21st of June with myself and Sarah. I want to give you a heads up some other stuff that is on the show. So here we have this is your Gemini Multimedia Patchwork Die Collection. We'll be seeing these a little bit later in the show. These are fantastic. You've got 4 different sets in here. So you get the clamshell, the apple core, the orange peel, and the tumbler for that great price. So again, half price deal on that one. Now we've also got the balloon builder for you on the show as well. As you can see there, you've got that die set, and then you've got that lovely charm pack. You've got 36 5-inch squares in the charm pack. I mean, to be fair, you'd pay more than that, I'm guessing, or I think the die on its own is that cost of that. So it's why a lot of the stock's already gone here. Do grab that one if you want it. 15% in fact has gone. The Gemini Multimedia die set and templates, build a banner, really busy on this one now. $19.99, $27.96. So many different ways of using this one, and we'll go through it all with Leanne in just a few minutes' time. And she'll tell us how we're going to use those. How are you getting on over there, Leanne?
I'm on the home straight now. We're nearly done. So I'm just leaving the gap to turn. So I've gone all the way around. You can see that there, all the way down, around, and I'm coming back up again, round the corner, back to where I started. So I'm leaving my gap to turn everything. And then I'm going to turn my speed down. So I'm back tacking. Remember, always back tack at every side of your opening, because you want to reinforce that, because you're going to put some pressure on it when you're turning the bulk of that fabric inside out. So then I'm just back tacking my corner, which I've done there. Lift up my needle, take that out. I'll trim all these ends off later. You would do your end trimming now. And now we're ready to turn it inside out. Just before I do that, I just like to snip my corners. And I like to snip the corners because it just makes it nice and neat. So I don't go into the stitches, just go close to the stitches, and that makes it easier. Then I turn everything through this little hole here. So this all gets pushed through. This is why I like to back tack it either side. So you can see you put some force on that. Give it a little shake.
Stephen says, stop blaming your bum, Joe. It is your mic pack. To be honest, I think it was a combination of the two, to be honest.
And I'm using my bone folder, Joe. You can buy proper bamboo corner pokers, but you know what? This bone folder, this papercraft one from Crafter's Companion, is the one I use all the time at home. It's fantastic. So I just use that just to poke my corners out. And of course at home you would use a matching coloured thread. I'm just using a plain white thread here, but you'll have a navy one or whatever it is that you're sewing with to match that at home.
Do you know what, Leanne? I think I might be pregnant, you know. I've just had the strongest craving for a beef and horseradish sandwich.
Really?
How weird. Like a really strong craving for a beef and horseradish sandwich.
Oh dear, that's hilarious. Now, I've poked my corners out. I wouldn't mind, I'll join you with a beef and horseradish sandwich,
I'm thinking
Joe.
like horseradish mayo though, not just actual horseradish. Anyway, enough about that. Can you tell it's nearly lunchtime?
Yes, so now I've just turned it out and I've popped my lining inside. What I would do is, and I'll show you, you see I just push out all of my corners, you can see there, so just wrangle it. It just takes a little bit of time. Get your hands inside and push it all down so it's in a good place. And then you'll flatten that and iron it. Let me just push that corner in there. So that's nice and flat. There we go. So if I zip this up, I'll give it a good press now. So you see what I've actually been able to make is a fabulous zipped compartment.
I love the lining.
Which has got, the lining's beautiful. That's from that lovely fabric earlier on. It's got nice weight and squidge because we put the wadding in there. And then you've got that zipped, and you can have that for your makeup, you can have it as a gadget bag, can be a sewing project bag if you want to. To finish it off, where we left the little corner, where I turned it, all you'll do, I just want to show you, so I'm going to whip it back out again. All you will do with this is push out the corners, and then here, where I turned it, just hold that flat like this, pop a little couple of pins, and then just stitch across, top stitch across that line. That seals it, and then you push your lining back inside, and you've made yourself a fabulous glitter pouch, which can be machine washed.
Very, very busy for the glitter fabrics. 40% of the stock is now gone there. I think that will be our next sellout, actually. I can see a lot of you with that in your basket at the moment. What I want to do is give you a chance to get your orders checked out. So why don't I share with you all the details of how you can watch and shop at the same time. Here's how. Hi, I'm Joe from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can grab the best deals and shop whilst you watch during our shows. So the best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. Head on over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV. You can see all of our shows, offers, and even shop while you watch. Now if you want to get involved and comment along, head over to our Facebook page. Come say hello, ask us some questions, and lol with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even AirPlay directly onto your big screen. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. All the details there of how you can watch and shop at the same time, which is fantastic. Right, we're going to come back. Loads of you saying how much you love that bag, by the way. Lynn says that bag looks fabulous. Leanne, cute bag, such a cute travel bag, says Ray as well. Now we're going to come back and we're going to look at the banner dies. Now these are fantastic because they make you really, really big alphabets. They make a 3-inch alphabet, which is probably about yay big. Now, the great thing is if we bought you alphabet dies that were 3-inch alphabet dies, it would cost a lot of money. You'd probably be looking at, I don't know, for multimedia dies, I would say in excess of £100 easily for a full alphabet, 3-inch alphabet in multimedia dies. So what Leanne and the team have done is thought there must be an easier way where we can bring you the concept and the ability to create every single letter of the alphabet, but without making you buy every single individual die. And that's where this has come into effect, because what you've got is a concept die system which allows you to create all the letters, to create perfect personalisation every single time, whether it's from cottons or felts or leather or faux leather or even things like mount board and balsa wood and craft metal. You can do it all because it's those deeper multimedia dies. The price on this is amazing when you consider really what you're getting is a full alphabet system. $19.99 or $27.96 to get those. Very busy there. Also very busy on our felt bundles that we've got as well. So I'll just run you through some of these. Now these work perfectly together. You can see the colours that you've got here. So you've got forest, which is this lovely sort of green and brown tones. You've got frost there. Oh, it's like a snow queen, that one. You've got the sea breeze. You've got the violet, which is very crafter's companion. The sea breeze is very low in stock. For me, it would have to be this one. Look at the raspberry. I mean, that is just quite shocking, isn't it? That is what I call a shocking pink. And then what we've also got there is your brights as well. Also really, really lovely. Fantastic. $5.99 or $8.49. I just want to bring the sea breeze back in because if it's a sea breeze you're after, 80% of the stock of the sea breeze has now sold out and gone. So you'll need to be quick for that one. I can see a lot of you multi-ordering as well on these felts. Absolutely, you're more than welcome to do that. Right, I'm going to hand back to Leanne because these are quite ingenious really, aren't they, Leanne?
Do you know what? They're absolutely fantastic. They're so clever and well thought through. I was just getting my letter E ready there. We'll come back to that in a second. What I've got ready is my H, or we're having some home bunting. So I've got my H, I've got my O, and I've got my M, and we're going to make the E. Okay, so we're going to finish that bunting off. So I've got my fabric here, I've got my felt, I've got my dies, I've got everything ready that I need to go. And I need 2 pieces so I can stitch around it. So I've got my rectangle that comes from the die set, and you can see that it's one of our multimedia. So I'm going to be able to cut 2 pieces at once, and I'm actually just going to use some junior plates because I don't need to use a bigger plate if I don't have to. So what I'm going to do is trim my fabric to size using my big scissors because my junior plates need to go through widthways, and so I can't have the fabric hanging out the end. There we go. So I've got my 2 pieces of fabric on my junior plate, I've got my die facing down, I've got my other 2 plates, and we're just going to pop them through the junior, and that's going to cut the rectangle at the right size I need for my bunting. Okay, so they're coming through. That will have cut. There we go. And so there's my fabric. Now, if it hasn't quite caught it, you might need your metal plate. So I'm just going to find my metal plate for my junior here and pop that back through again. Luckily, I've got another piece of fabric. You'll know how your machine performs at home as to whether you think you'll need the metal or not. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And I'm just going to talk to you when I've done this about the warp and weft of the fabric, actually. The warp and weft.
The warp and weft.
The warp and weft.
Sounds like an old pub or something, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Oh, should we go down to the warp and weft for a Sunday lunch?
Let's go down to the warp and weft. Now, the warp and weft of your fabric makes a big difference when you're cutting, actually. And I don't know whether you've actually realised that. I'm sure there are loads of you really experienced crafters at home thinking, I know all about... Oh, I left my shim out. Oh, honestly, Leanne.
What you like?
What am I like? I'm doing a Debbie Robinson. Dear me. Let's do it again. And while I'm doing that, let me talk to you about the warp and weft of fabric. So the warp and the weft is the way the fibres go. It's the vertical and horizontal fibres when fabric is woven together. Okay, so it's the vertical and the horizontal. And when you're cutting your fabric, you need to be on the vertical grain. Now, it's not always possible to do that, and that's where you get what happened here, where I was on the horizontal grain of the fabric and it didn't go all the way through. So to know how to get, there we go, I've got my lovely cut rectangles now by just adding in my metal shim. It let me cut against the grain on my fabric. How do you tell which is the warp and which is the weft? I'm going to get a bit of fabric and
it's just a jump to the weft. It's
just a jump to the weft. Now, I want you to listen. So I'm going to do this at my microphone. And I want you to hear this. You ready? Can you hear that? That's a deep sounding noise when I do that with the fabric. If I turn it round and do it this way, you ready? You see how that went deeper? So that is, so you can tell which way you need to cut it by pulling the sound of your fabric. And it's on the deepest one That way, that's the way you want to cut with your fabric, because that's the right grain, that's the vertical grain going through. So there we go, there's the little lesson for you on the warp and weft and the sound of your fabric. Equally, just stick your metal plate in, it'll work. Depends which option you want to go with. Now that I've got my 2 little rectangles cut, what I need to do is cut the shape that I want to use on the bottom of there. And you've got all of these little shapes included for you to finish your bunting off. So you see, you can get this little point, you can get this one here, which is the little doodah, and then you've got a doodah, and then you've got your little point, you've got your pointy dies too. All right, so I'm actually going to use the half moon because I want to use that. So I'm going to have my 2 pieces of rectangle fabric like this. And actually what I like to do as well, guys, just for speed and to stop it moving, is I like a little bit of stick and spray in there, because I don't want to put a pin through my machine when I'm cutting. But what that will do, my repositionable adhesive, because this could be on the inside, it won't be noticeable on the finished piece, and what it does is it just keeps them 2 pieces from slipping away from each other. And then I'm going to cut this on the bottom here, Joe, and I'm going to stitch it together.
Loads of us having lockdown birthdays at the moment as well. Maybe you could make some fun for that. Roberta Miller on YouTube says, Joe, you look like an umpire today. An umpire of what, I wonder? I don't know, let me know, Roberta. Kerry says, Softer Side is fast becoming her favourite show. She says, can I use my papercraft dies for material? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. What is the answer to that, Leanne? Okay,
so our multimedia dies, mixed media dies, you can absolutely use on material, no problem at all. Our thin metal papercraft dies, depending on whether it's a simple shape or a complicated shape, will be whether you can use it on fabric. You can, so like a floral. Let's say it's one of the foam flower dies, which is just a regular papercraft die. You could use that on felt and do lovely applique flowers. You could even do it on cotton if you wanted to, 1 layer at a time. So you wouldn't be able to cut multiple layers, but you could do 1 layer. If it was an edgeable, there's too much detail in that to be able to get through all the fibres of the fabric. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. If you were cutting single layers of cotton with a papercraft die, then what would your sandwich combo be, Leanne?
It would be exactly as you've got here, exactly as you would do for a papercraft die.
Right, okay, exactly the same.
Exactly the same, because it's just all you're doing is replacing the card for fabric.
Okie doke.
Yeah, and it's the depth of the die that
would it be
dictates
better
the sandwich.
Would it be better to put the fabric against some cardstock, or would that not help?
Wouldn't really help. Just put your metal shim in, and it'll work. So just exactly the same sandwich that you will use for your paper sandwich, whatever you would be doing it with. Just replace the paper with the fabric and maybe pop your metal shim in. It just gives it a little bit of an extra oomph. So you see here, now when I've run that through, I've now got the perfect curved edge on my piece of banner there, because that's cut that away, and you've got 4 different edges. So you've got the rectangle piece and your 4 different edges. So I'm ready to start sewing this together now. Now I'll come back to my little letter E in a second. Let's move my dies out of the way. So I'm going to turn these wrong sides. They're wrong sides to wrong sides. So the right sides to right sides. It's both the same colour, so it's difficult to see. But remember, I put my little bit of stick and spray on to keep it still. So I want that facing me now, because I want to turn that in the right way. And I'm going to leave a little gap again to turn this the wrong way out. And I'm going to leave it at the top, where I will be joining it to my ribbon. So I'll be leaving my gap up here. So Wonderful. I'll just start stitching it together down here.
Could you hand stitch this if you didn't have a machine, these ones?
Of course you can, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Because they're just nice small little projects.
Wonderful.
So if you wanted to, you could.
Because a lot of people already own a Gemini at the moment and might want to, maybe you're looking for a project to get you into sewing. You're not sure it's for you, you don't want to buy a machine just yet. This would be a fantastic one for you to hand stitch, which is great. Very minimal investment here, considering the amount of personalisation, the amount of different things you can create using it. $19.99 or $27.96. Make sure you're popping something else in your basket though, because of course we want you to be able to get the free gift all the way through our week of shows here. Now a quarter of the stock of the free gift has already sold out and gone. All you need to do is make sure you've got £30 or $30 worth of products in your basket, and this will appear instantly, which is fantastic.
So I'm just leaving my little gap at the top to turn it. So you see I'm always back tacking where I'm turning it, because that's the place that you put the most stress on. I've just realised I had a really big stitch on here, Joe, because I lengthened my stitch when we were doing the first demonstration to top stitch around the basket, and I haven't shortened it again. So what I'm going to do is just go back around, because I want a small stitch so that when I turn this inside out, it doesn't put too much stress on the strain and tear the stitches. So let me just explain. When I was doing the little basket before and top stitching, I was going through 6 layers of fabric.
Right.
Which would be a lot of strain for the machine to go through 6 layers with a really short stitch when you're top stitching. So when you're top stitching, you elongate your stitch, which makes it easier and neater. When you're actually stitching a seam, you want a smaller stitch, because the closer the stitch together, the stronger the stitch is on a cotton fabric, which is why I've just gone back around, because when I turn this inside out, the potential for me to put my finger through the seam would have been quite large, and we don't want to do that. So now I'm turning it. I've left my little gap at the top, and you see I'm just using my bone folder again, and the shape of the bone folder is perfect for getting my little curving shape around there, so I can get that all turned out nicely. I would at this point press it, but we're not going to waste time pressing for now, because this is just all about how it goes together rather than the pressing. Then fold that in so that's nice and flat there, and then that will get attached to our ribbon. Okay.
Stephen's asking, can you embroider on the machine you're using? I don't think you can you, Leanne?
It's got an alphabet, yes, and numbers. You can. It's got an alphabet and numbers. I can show you that if you're interested in going on the website to see it.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
I'll show you how to do it on a little piece of cotton. It's very easy.
Fabulous.
So what I've got is a lovely piece of felt from that felt bundle, and then in with the banner you get all of these templates. You get your full alphabet. Now I've just drawn around that with a biro. You do it with a heat erasable pen or an air erasable pen at home. You don't want to see that biro edge, but I wanted you to very obviously see what I'd done. So I would never do it with a biro at home. And then you're going to cut round with a pair of lovely sharp scissors, and I can't recommend our Crafter's Companion scissors enough for this, because they really are precise and beautiful and easy to use. And it's best to cut in the jaw of the scissor jaw and turn the thing that you're cutting. See, I'm turning the felt, not the scissor. The scissor staying in the same direction, and I get a much more precise result by turning the material I'm cutting, be it card, paper, felt or fabric, and keep the scissor still and keep it in the jaw of the scissor.
Wonderful. Loads of you loving this. Rosalind says you're using this Gemini stitch machine. It's actually the Stitch Pro, I believe. Leanne is using at the moment. Don't forget, you can send us any projects, anything you've been working on, you'd like to send us some pictures in. You can always do that by emailing us studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you need to send those into. Don't forget as well about our new show on a Sunday, Second Chance Sunday, where we bring back the deals that you guys loved. So if there's anything you missed out on, I have a feeling there might be quite a few requests for that 10 metre fabric bundle to come back. And if you want to bring that back, I know it's gone at the moment, but a great chance now to email us, put Second Chance Sunday in the subject line, and then let us know what you want to bring back. Maybe something you didn't know you needed it until it had sold out, and now you can't live without it. And also our other show we've relaunched, I wouldn't say it's a brand new show, is the Craft House, and it's going to be a fabulous one this weekend. It's going to be all things foiling, and have a guess who's going to be joining us.
Craig.
Yes.
Just because it's foiling. I know how much he absolutely loves.
So he can't come in because he's shielding at the moment at home, so obviously he can't come into us here in the studio. But because of the Craft House, via the medium of video, video call, we're going to have Craig demonstrating at home. I'll be here in the studio as well, so it'll be like having him back on your screens. It'll be wonderful.
It'd be lovely to see him. I'm sure it would be very, very, very a relief for him as well to be in contact with the outside world again.
He texted me over the weekend to say just how excited he is, and he can't wait to come back and join us in person. But for now, I will have him via video link.
Now, what you can do if you want, and you know we won't because you don't need to see me do it, but you can stitch around the edge of those little felt shapes that you've cut with a different stitch from your machine, which I think finishes it off. Or you can do what I've just done and glue it in place if you want to. I've just used some textile glue. And you can see there that you can still see my pen edge. Don't you use a biro tool, I just wanted you to see that when I was cutting it out so you could see how I'd drawn it. And then all this needs to happen now is this just needs to get stitched to our ribbon. So I'll just by eye find out where I think it looks about right. And then I'll just run that through the machine and stitch it in place.
Wonderful, very, very simple, but very effective as well. And you can make, you know, the great thing is about something like bunting, you're personalising, you're making it for a whole host of different things, whether it's occasions, you know, birthday, baby shower, wedding, whether you're putting names on there as well. There's so many different things that you can do. Play around with all the colour combinations. Think about all of the different base materials that you want to use as well. Things like cork, I bet, would look beautiful on bunting. There's so many different things that you're going to be able to do. And it's something that's ever popular as well. So you're going to get so much use out of it. And such a small investment for something that's going to do so much for you.
Absolutely. Now, I just haven't caught that little top bit there, and I do like to point out when I haven't. So you will catch that at home when you're not speed crafting like I am. There we go. And then you've got your HOME, your little bit of bunting, and we've got another piece down here so you can see done exactly the same with this, which is a little bit bigger, and it's a welcome banner. Look at this.
Ooh.
Oh, hang on, get that right, there we are. So look, you can make it as small or as big as you like. How fabulous is that with those lovely little alphabets? It's beautiful, isn't it?
Really
I'm making
lovely.
some of this for my garden, Joe, which you'll see when we have our garden party.
I know we're meant to be having a garden party this week, but completely rained off. Friday it was meant to be. There was going to be bratwurst and gin and Sauvignon Blanc. It was going to be amazing, but it's going to happen just in a week's time.
Exactly.
Right, I want to recap a few bits for you that are proving very, very busy in this Softer Side of Life show. So this one here, $19.99 or $27.96 if you want to go for that one. Very, very busy on it. Don't forget about all those felt bundles that we've got for you. Loads of them on the show for you. So I'll just quickly run you through the options that you've got here. You've got Forest, which is this one here. You also have Frost as well, which is that one there. It's beautiful. You've got the Raspberry. There is the Sea Breeze. Was it the Sea Breeze that was 80% gone? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it's very, very busy there. The Violet. Or you've got the Brights as well. So they're your different options. Great to go with your bunting as well. So really, really great way of using that. $5.99 or $8.49 depending on where you are. I can see lots of you multi-ordering there on those, which is fantastic. Right, there's so much on the show today. Those glitter pastes, they are so busy at the moment. 40% of the stock of this has gone. £23 or $28. Remember that they're half price there. Well, they're less than half price. If you went for them individually, $7.99 or $9.95. So great to get them all for £23 or $28. The patchwork dies also proving very, very busy as they always do. It's a half price deal for you, £57 or $69. Allows you to get all of those, which is fantastic value for money. And next we have this for you. It's the Vintage Flowers Charm Pack with the Bloom Builder die. Now, lots of you shopping ahead on this one. It's very, very busy. Now, the Charm Pack on its own, well, the Bloom Builder die should be $14.99 or $22.95. So you basically get the Charm Pack completely free of charge. And the Charm Pack should be $8.99 or $8.95. So you've got a fantastic deal there on that as well. Right, what do you want to... Oh, yes, that lovely fabric. Let me show it to you because it is gorgeous. And it's a charm pack as well. So a charm pack means that it's 5 by 5 squares which are cut and are ready to go. So it means that all the cutting out's been done for you. You just need to pop your dies over there and you'll be good to go. Really lovely little, a really lovely selection of different details and colours, and you've got some backgrounds and some focal points. I love the tulips. These tulips are my absolute favourite. $14.99, $22.95. Do you fancy guiding us through this one, Leanne?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to, Joe. And I was just having a nice time there. I'm just got my little bits of fabric, which actually I've put some heat and bond on the back of. So I've stuck that on the back of my fabric so that I could iron it in place if I wanted to. to. And I'm just having a look at all of the little bits and pieces that I've got in here. And you've got a real good amount of bits to make all sorts of different flowers, Joe, which I've started to put on a cushion here. So you can see there's the tulip. That's my favourite too. I love the tulip. And then you've got the little circles here, which you can do that lovely little round bloom if you wanted to. And do you know what I was thinking, Joe? You know when I was showing you how you can glitter paste on just a flat piece of fabric earlier? Imagine doing these in glitter colours. So you cut on some plain fabric, just apply your glitter, let it dry, and then do the die cutting that I'm going to do now and applique it up and have lovely glitter blooms on a cushion if you want to. I think that would look really, really good. That's making me feel quite excited, I have to say. So I'm going to have a little bit of a different petal on there. Let's just go with that. Let's have one. Oh, I've got another one here. I might be able to get through 2 layers at once. Let's see if I can. So I'm going to put 2 petals there, and let's see.
These dies are fairly small. I don't know the answer to this question. Can you put multimedia dies through your Gemini Mini, Leanne?
No.
No. Okay.
Yes, multimedia dies are a little thick and a little bit aggressive for your Gemini Mini because they're deeper and they're made to really bite through, because cutting fabric is difficult for a die cutting machine. Getting through all of that warp and weft that I was explaining to you earlier with all those vertical and horizontal fibres. So they need to be deeper and stronger, and especially when we're putting our metal plate and what have you in there. So no, with your Mini that wouldn't work. You would need your Junior or your Gemini.
Stacey says she's been organising her craft room for the last 2+ months. She's got so much new stuff, she just has to keep reworking it. Well, if you need a bit of organisation, pop back to the Craft House on Friday. Those Totally Tiffany shows. Great to get yourself organised there. So do pop back and have a little look at that.
There we go. So you see, I've used my dies and I've cut myself out a little bloom. You see, the pieces cut out brilliantly. And I actually went through 4 layers there. I went through fabric adhesive to get myself 2 leaves in one pass. So I've got those all ready to go, and I've got my cushion front. Here it is. So now all I need to do is take off the back from my heat and bond and position my little floral wherever I want it to go. And actually, you know, this could be on, you know how we did the little bag earlier with the glitter paste on? You could arrange a whole little row of flowers down the bottom of a zipped bag. That would look amazing, wouldn't it?
So you're going to use the heat and bond. Do you stitch over the heat and bond, or is it enough on its own, that heat and bond?
It just depends the result that you want personally. Okay. I like to heat and bond it, and then I personally like to stitch around it so that it looks like I've appliqued. But what it has allowed me to do when I'm appliquing is applique without the bits moving around.
What is that stitch called? That's like an embroidery stitch.
It's a blanket stitch?
The one that goes like backwards. It's a really super wide stitch that goes over and it builds up. It's like really textured. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
I can't remember the name of it.
Oh.
It's going to come to me. It will come to me soon.
It's not a blanket stitch, is it?
I don't think so. No, it looks like embroidery, but it's not. It's just a machine stitch, basically.
Oh,
that will come to me.
Yeah,
it will come to me.
So I've got my heat and bond in place there. So this is now my cushion front already done, and then I've got my cushion back. Do you want me to make the cushion, or do you want to see something else?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Why
not? The multimedia banner dies, is that what's used to make the cupcake banner behind you? It's not actually, no, it's a stamp and die set that was used to make these, and these are made out of card, so I'm not quite sure. I think that was just a template that someone's using. They just put a bit of faux stitching around the edge of it. So, but if you want to grab those, when were they last on? They were on a cartload not so long ago. I can't remember when though. I'll have a think about it. But maybe you want to see them on Second Chance Sunday. Who is it that said that? Sandy. Then maybe pop a request in. studio@craftscompanion.co.uk is where you need to send those. Thank you. Bernie Corner is on hand. It's a satin stitch. That is what I'm thinking of. Thanks, Bernie.
Bernie.
You've always got my back. Thank you for that. Yeah, satin stitch. That's what I was thinking of. Now I can't remember what I was thinking of it.
To go around the applique.
That was it. That's what I was thinking of. To go around the applique. Yeah, satin stitching around the applique. That was
so what I've done here, this is you can see here, here's my cushion front with my appliqued florals on. And then I've just got 2 pieces of fabric, both of them shorter than the cushion front themselves. And I've done a 1/2 inch hem. and then just laid them over each other, and that's going to create the pocket to slip my cushion into. Just makes making cushions incredibly easy. And then I'm just going to stitch around all 4 corners, Joe. And I don't need to leave a hole for turning because my hole is in here for me to put my cushion pad in. So I'm going to speed sew.
Oh, everyone's flooding in now with the satin stitch. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Remember as well, if you if there's projects in this show and you want to follow them, you can always just pop yourself back and watch the whole show back if you want to. They always live forever over on the website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. 20% of this is gone, by the way, and on there you can watch all of the shows back. So if you maybe just found us for the first time and you're thinking, oh, I love this show, well, there's weeks and weeks. There's about, I think this is about the 8th or 9th week of us doing this show, so you'll be able to pop yourself back and watch them all. If there's a project in it as well and you've seen it and you think, right, I'm going to definitely do that, and you've got to order the product right now to do it, either share this stream if you're watching us on Facebook, or in the top right hand corner there's 3 little dots and you can download it and save it to your sort of saved area, so you're never going to have to miss out on it, which is fantastic. Now, as of next week, I won't be here with you on a Tuesday morning because John is back. I mean, I'm just keeping John's seat warm is all that's happened. Because obviously, with the whole lockdown situation here in the UK, John Scott wasn't able to join us, but now he's able to again as measures are sort of starting to ease a little bit. So John will be back for John Scott's Sewing World, which will be 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. That will be with you every Tuesday morning, and then Softer Side of Life we hear from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. and he'll be here joined by whoever's doing the show that day. So some weeks it will be Sarah, some weeks I'm sure it'll be Leanne, maybe one week it'll be Bernie, but we'll always bring you this Softer Side of Life show, but also John Scott Sewing World will be coming back as well. So you've basically got double soft crafting now on a Tuesday morning. So it really is the place to be, Crafts TV, on a Tuesday morning for all of your different needlecraft that you might want to be grabbing. Stacey says, yep, got all the Totally Tiffany stuff coming. I also ordered the cart on HSN yesterday too. Of course, the cart was a Today Special yesterday over on HSN. Oh, they were here till I think it was 5 a.m. this morning, the guys, filming and going live to Florida. I saw an Instagram story from Sarah at 5:30 in the morning. She was just getting in from work. It was so light outside. That's a time to, usually if I'm getting in, it's not from work at 5:30 in the morning. I'll leave it at that, Leanne.
Yeah, yes, it's not from work, me either. No. If I'm getting in at 5:30 in the morning, Joe, I have to say it's from something far more fun. Oh, but the work is fun, of course, yeah. Let's just put that little caveat in there.
Oh, here we go. It's like the hamster story again.
No, it is. It's like the new gender neutral bunnies and puppy dogs. I mean, seriously. But the boss will be in bed asleep, so it's all right. Nobody's going to tell him.
I did a Leanne. Yes, I think it was it yesterday? Yeah, it was. I referenced it even as doing a Leanne. I got myself in a right pickle.
That's so funny. There we go. So there is the little cushion with just some little bits of applique. You could satin stitch around there if you wanted to. You can see it just makes a little envelope for your cushion to go in. Really pretty. So you can applique it to your heart's content. I would actually be putting something in the middle, like a glitter explosion in the middle with my applique around the outside. I think that would look gorgeous.
Absolutely fantastic. Now remember, just the dies on their own should be $14.99 or $22.95. So you've actually got the charm pack included free of charge. So 36 sheets there, not sheets, pieces I should say, in that charm pack. Remember, with everything we bring you here, even on Crafters TV, when we bring you these, shut the front door deals, you can still, of course, use your Club Inspire discount on absolutely everything, which is brilliant. Now, if you're new to us here and you're maybe not familiar with Club Inspire, here's Sarah with all the details.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
All the details there of Club Inspire. I've become a bit obsessed in the last few days with this new Lady Gaga album, Leanne. I'm like literally singing myself around the studio today. What's it called when it gets something gets in your head? Oh, an earworm. That's it. I'm full of Lady Gaga. Well, I'm not full of Lady Gaga, but earworm-wise, I'm full of Lady Gaga. Right, the free gift. I need to remind you of this because this is worth, of course, $19.99 in the UK, $27.99 if you're in the US. Now, you only need to spend £30 or $30 and you're going to receive this totally free of charge. However, we're only at, what's the time now? It's, approaching 1 o'clock here in the UK. That means that in the US, it's stupid early still. And already, 35% of the stock has gone. The US hasn't even woken up yet. And we only have a finite amount of these free gifts. So once it's gone, there will be no free gift for the rest of the day. So it's very, very busy. I'm not sure whether the free gift will be here for the whole of the later show. So all you need to make sure you've done is got £30 or $30 worth of products in your basket after your Club Inspire discount has come off, and this will appear. If you're watching the show back later and it doesn't appear, then the free gift will have sold out. Right, the glitter paste. Oh my word, so busy on these. 40% of the stock's gone. So I want to quickly run you through those colours that you're getting. So in here, you're getting, there should be $7.99 each. You're going to get the whole collection. So you're going to get that wonderful emerald green. You're also going to get, I've got two greens, haven't I? You're going to get the emerald green, which is wonderful. You're also going to get as well the blue and the copper, and you're going to get that beautiful silver. What am I missing? I'm missing one. I'm missing the gold. Go for gold. A glorious gold, in fact. You get all of them. Have I got two golds now? Why do I feel like this is some sort of conundrum that I'm struggling to... Have I got two reds? No, that's a copper. All right, wonderful. You get 6. You get all of them, so you don't have to worry about which one you're missing. £23 or $28 if you want to grab those, which is fantastic. The felt, also very busy. I'll just whiz you through the colours quickly on those. Some of these are now limited stock colour-wise, so if you want to grab them, you need to be quick. You've got Frost, you've got Brights, you've got the Sea Breeze. The Frost and the Sea Breeze, very, very busy on these. You've then also got the Forest, you've got the Violet, and you've got, oh, I love that one, the Raspberry. The Raspberry is also very low stock-wise too. Right, now, the patchwork dies. Let me take these off of here and I'll show them to you because they are fantastic and they are absolutely mahoosive as well, which is fantastic. They should be... one of them should be $39.99. The clamshell should be $39.99. The rest of them should be $24.99. Now, to get 4 of these, you're only spending £57 or $69, which is fantastic. Now, Leanne's going to take us through all the things we can do with these. But you've got the clamshell. That one there should be $34.99. And then you've got the other 3 in here as well. So you've got the apple core, really traditional shape, that one. You've got the orange peel, very, very versatile. And you've got the tumbler in there as well. So loads of different things that you can do. I think these bigger dies, Leanne, sometimes people are a bit not scared of them, but intimidated by them, and think that actually that means now I've got to make a massive project. I need to do a huge quilt. But fairly, people that are fairly new to sewing can still utilise these, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, I would say, and you're right, Joe, people would feel and think that. However, my advice is if you're a new patchworker and you're just starting on your journey, go for the biggest die you can get. Go for the biggest size block you can get, because actually it is easier to work with and easier for you to put together, and doesn't take all the little fiddly intricacies of getting your seams exactly right. And you get a quilt really quickly. So these dies for a new patchworker are fantastic, because the bigger size is going to be a treat for you. But if you're a regular, if you're a die in the water, hardened, seasoned patchworker, it's just going to take all of the cutting effort away for you. And that's the thing that I find when I've made quilts in the past being the most frustrating, is the fact that I needed 3 days to cut the quilt out before I could even start sewing. So these dies really do make that much, much easier for you. You've seen me do cutting already on the show, so I'm going to not do that for you. I'm going to focus on the stitching together, because the cutting is very, very easy. You put the die on the plates with the metal plate, run it through the machine, and it's cut. So what I do with these dies, you see I'm using the Tumbler. The largest die here is 5.6 by 5.5 inches, so it's a really good size. I'm using the next size down, so I'm using the second size down for mine. And this is how I get myself ready to cut my Tumbler out. So I prepare myself strips of fabric. So you see I've got all of my strips here, and I've cut my strips at the right height for my Tumbler piece. So I've cut my strips and I'm going to be ready to put that through my machine. So I've just got a piece here that I want to show you what I would then next do. So I line this up and I run it through and cut it. So we're going to imagine that this yellow piece is now a hole in my fabric, because I've run it through and I've cut it. If I do this now to cut again, I've wasted some fabric. So to maximise, what I do is then turn my die the other way around and match it, and then I will do that all the way along my strip. So if I do this like this for you, I've got my long strip. Imagine that that is the hole that's being cut out, and then I flip my die the other way, cut, there's another hole, hang on. I'm hoping that this is making it clear for you guys. So here's another hole, and then I take my die, flip, and you see I go all the way along, so I maximise the use of my fabric on my strip. So that's what you're going to do in all of the different colours that you want to use in your project. Okay, so that's those there, and I'm going to come back to them in a second. And I've got those all cut out now from all of these different little pieces of fabric. And the thing that I love about this fabric matches those bloom dies that we've just had on. And I'm just going to show you the picture here. So you see the bloom dies where we did the applique of the cushion. There's the little round flower. There's your little tulip, so that you can have those as the backing or the inside and then do your applique with them as well. It all matches beautifully. And then this set matches that fab little fat quarter bundle that we had as well. Not fat quarter, 5 by 5 squares. Right, so there we've got all of our pieces ready and cut out. So now we just need to start joining them. And to start joining them, we do exactly as you would imagine. We turn them, we join them together. Now what you don't want to do is, sorry, just getting a piece and thinking of the words I wanted to use at the same time. What you wouldn't do is keep them at the same orientation, wide at the top, thin at the bottom, because if you do that when you join them, you're going to go around in a circle look. Can you see? So that's starting to curve. So when you join your tumbler, what you have to do is exactly as I was showing you how to cut them, spin one in the opposite direction. So you're joining them opposite like that, and then you're joining this next one a wide one, and then this next one down here, let's get a different piece of fabric, would be the wide at the bottom, the thin at the top. So you see how that all works along there, Joe.
Rosalind's asking, how many layers of fabric will the dies cut at once? I mean,
8.
Obviously it depends on the fabric, doesn't it?
It does. So if you're cutting, as I've done here, 100% cotton, with your metal plate, 8 layers.
What, 8 layers?
8. 6 to 8.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Half the stock of that glitter paste is sold out and gone. Christine in upstate New York, one of our regulars, she says, I didn't want to run out. It's a great price. She's ordered 3 sets, by the way. She said she had them in her basket since yesterday or the day before, and it was a lot more. So when it was a great treat to go to her basket today and realise that they were pretty much less than half price, which is fantastic. Lots of you stocking up on those, which is fantastic. Yes, up to 8 layers, 6 layers. I mean, it just depends, doesn't it, on the fabric that you're using. But the great thing is, it's not like using a ruler and a rotary cutter, is it, Leanne, and having to go around every one. And the thing is, I guess it's the accuracy, really, isn't it? And that's the bit you really need when you're cutting out. Because the cutting out, let's face it, is not the bit that people enjoy when you're sewing.
No, you're 100% right. And actually, just to show you, to demonstrate that point, especially with shapes like this, they need to be 100% accurate to get those seams in the right place to be able to build up your quilt. And just to show you here, you can see at this edge here and this edge here, my 2 fabric pieces match perfectly. So now when I go and stitch my 1/4 inch seam, it's beautifully in the right position. If you're doing this yourself from a template or with your rotary cutter, I've tried. I'm sure there are lots of professional patchworkers out there who can and who are very accurate, but I struggle. So I love the confidence that a set of dies like this gives me, because my shapes are already correct. All I've got to do is line it up and stitch my 1/4 inch seam and be comfortable and confident and know that that is just going to work for me. So I'm just going to stitch my 1/4 inch. You see, I changed my foot, Joe. We've got a fabulous foot set on our website that can be used, a universal foot set, and it's got a 1/4 inch foot in there, which has got a little lip on and allows me to get that perfect 1/4 inch
They were
seam.
on, the feet set were on they were on the best of on Saturday. What's the day today? I don't know if the deal will still be live. Pop back and see if you can get them there. They were definitely on, last Saturday's best of, the one just gone.
So I'm just finger pressing. You will be using an iron at home, of course, because you're a professional patchworker. But you can see there that I've got that fabulous join really easily. I'm building up to a little bit of a quilt here. Look, you can see I've got this ready. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 pieces. So I want to join 6 pieces on here before I attach that to my quilt. So I'm just going to do exactly that. And notice what I do all the time is I turn it upside down to make sure that I've got it the right way. Right sides to right side, so I can see how my pattern's going. Then I flip it over and join it up and stitch it. And then I know that I'm not stitching in the wrong direction or I haven't got the shape upside down. I like to do that every time. If you do stitch it the wrong way,
can you unpick it?
Yeah, just unpick it. Me and my stitch ripper on first name terms. She's called Mary.
Mary?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why
if I had a
Mary.
stitch ripper, I'd call it Jack.
Would you?
Yeah. Jack the Ripper.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. Why didn't I think of that? Why did I think Mary?
Don't know.
Well, you're obviously far funnier and witty than I am.
Laura, our producer, just went, oh. I could feel she was just like, oh. Stacey has also bought 2 sets of the glitter paste as well. You guys really getting stocked up on that glitter paste. You're absolutely loving it. Kerry got the feet last Tuesday and is excited to receive those. So they were on this show last Tuesday, then they were on the best of on Saturday.
Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces now. So I'm just going to whiz this one in and then whiz 2 more, and then I want to just explain to you about how to join the strips once you've got your strip ready.
Fantastic.
I would be pressing my seams, Joe, as I go along. And so, you'll forgive me for that. This is not strictly patchwork law, patchwork 101 rules. If the patchwork police were out, the patchwork police would be knocking on my door right now.
Why would they be knocking on your door?
Because I'm not pressing my seams. I'm just finger pressing them. You need to press your
Imagine
seams.
going to careers office and saying, they say, well, what are you interested in? You fill in the questionnaire. Oh, you're the perfect candidate to be a patchwork police officer. You'd be like,
oh, thanks very much.
How do I feel about that? I wanted to be a lawyer when I was growing up, believe it or not.
Did you?
Yeah, I had huge ambitions, and then realised that I hated school when I got to about year 8. So yeah, I kind of gave up on that. What did you want to be, Leanne?
Do you know what I wanted to be? I wanted to be one of 2 things. And we're talking when I was about 3 or 4 now. I wanted to be a post office mistress.
Right.
Because I loved watching her with we should have known, with a stamp and an ink pad.
Doof,
Doof, doof. I wanted to stamp. I just wanted to go boof, 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 stamp all day, like that. Or I wanted to be a bus conductor because they had one of them fat ticket machines.
Right.
Rolls of tickets where you used to get a little ticket. And then
And you just
stamp
wanted
it.
rolls of them.
Yeah, well, there was a bus conductor that my grandma knew used to save me rolls of tickets and give me them because I really loved them. So I could play with me rolls of tickets, which was really lovely, and I used to pretend to be a bus conductor. But it was about like paper and stamping and tearing and, you know what I mean? And so really we should have known.
Should have known.
And then as I got older, I really I wanted to teach, and I did that for a long time. Many years did I teach in different places, the NHS, in colleges and universities, and in the police force, and then moved on to teaching and developing craft. So just stuck with what I wanted to do, really. So we joined the two things that I loved, crafting and teaching, and got my dream job. I'm very, very lucky, I know that.
I didn't become a lawyer, plot twist, unless you hadn't worked it out.
But you do love a good debate.
Oh, if you got me on Facebook, though, you'd think I was a lawyer, wouldn't you?
You do love a good debate.
Oh, I love a good debate. I really do. Some would call it argumentative. I wouldn't say so.
No, I just think it's debate. I think it's challenging perception and thought.
I've been described as challenging before and trying.
So I've put my 6 pieces together here from my tumbler. You can see there. So let me just move that out the way so you can see them. Excuse me. And I've just alternated up and down, up and down, up and down. You would press those, and then I'm going to join them to this piece that I've already got ready here. Now, what I want to say to everybody is, think of the width of project you want and do a full strip to that width. Because once you've sewn this together, you can see the end here goes like this, in, out, in, out. Trying now to stitch another piece, if it's not quite long enough, very tricky,
right,
and doesn't always line up perfectly. So decide on the width you want for your quilt, your project, your lap, your cushion, whatever it is that you're doing. Do that width and then put your strips together. That's what I'm going to do now, because I've just got a straight strip to sew together and it's the perfect width. Now, what I would be doing for the patchwork police, if they were round at my house, is I would be matching
it's the
up.
patchwork police.
I know.
We should get a sound effect made for that.
I'd be matching up. What should we do? Like, woo woo. I would be matching up every seam. So you can see that what I've got there is a little cross, and then I've got my seam going up and then my 2 little ears here. And then I'd be pushing one to the left, one to the right, and sewing over it. That gets me a nice, clean, precise join where all of my little pieces come together. And I'm just going to put some pins in. That'll take me a little while to do because you need to take your time with that. So I'll do a little bit of it, but I won't do it all.
Okie doke. Let's take that moment then to recap on everything you've seen so far in this Softer Side of Life show. Don't forget, very exciting, next week, John Scott will be here. I'll be having a lie-in. I'm not so sorry about that. Anyone that knows me will know how much I love my bed. But actually, I don't have to be in till 9 o'clock for this show. So, I mean, I should be out of bed, really, shouldn't I, by 8:30. Anyway, I digress. I mean, I'm a real chatty Caffey today. I don't know what's wrong with me, you know. I think I've had too much coffee this morning. Right, the patchwork dies. Very, very busy on these. Great saving here as well. Saving more than you're spending with these, which is fantastic. So you've got here, of course, all of your different designs that you need. The orange peel. You've got the apple core, which is that one there. You've also got the clamshell here, and you've got the tumbler as well. So all 4 of them for you. £57 or $69 to get all of them, which is absolutely great. Right, loads more to recap for you. I'll just pop those there for a minute because I'm going to put this down. The balloon builder, very, very busy for this one here. Now all you're doing is you're paying for the die set here, which is going to allow you to create those lovely floral pieces. Great for cotton, great for felt. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you the charm pack included as well, which is fantastic. So these are 5-inch by 5-inch pieces that you've got just here. So yeah, with your smaller ones, you could use the smaller patchwork dies with those as well, which would be fantastic. Right, we're going back to Leanne because she's on the home straight, I sense.
I am. I'm just stitching my little strip together, and I'm trying my best to get all of my little seams lined up so it's perfect. I've pinned them, so I put a little pin, you know when I showed you the cross where I put the 2 little ears going in different directions, I just popped a little pin in to keep those there. At home, I would be taking this so much more slowly. It really is worth not speeding this bit when you're doing this at home. It is worthwhile just taking your time with it and getting all of those little crossover joins in the right place. So I do it slowly with lots of pins at home, but this is just speed to show you how the dies go together. So notice I've said that lots of times so that you forgive me when it isn't perfect.
You're a pinner, not a clipper, I see.
Yes, I'm a pinner, not a clipper. Yeah, I do. Well, there's some things, if I'm doing projects that have lots and lots of bulk, so I would clip my binding, for example. I clip my binding, I pin my patchwork. It's just a preference, isn't it? It's what you like to do. So I've just stitched along. So this is the strip, the 6 pieces that I sewed together. I've just stitched along now, and oh, Joe, I'm almost, that one's not great. Let's not look at that one. But look, these aren't too bad, bearing in mind that I rushed them. However, I didn't do my pattern matching very well because I got the same and the same and the same and the same. Doesn't matter. But you see, you join your strips as you go down when you've got your full strip, and then you can build together a quilt, or a lap quilt, or a cushion, or a bed runner, or a table runner, whatever it is you want. You can build that up really quite quickly. Comes together nicely, doesn't it? It
really does. It's absolutely beautiful. Now remember, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be spending more than £30 or $30. If you're going for the patchwork dies, you'll be spending over that threshold. So it means that you'll get your free gift included. Now over a third of the free gift, was it 35% actually, has sold out and gone. So if you want the free gift, I don't know if it'll be around for the whole of the later show, a little later, but remember, because we are in the midst of our Christmas event, we are sending you that included, which is fantastic. Leann, it's been a pleasure to spend oh sorry, I have a frog in my throat today, haven't I? Pleasure to spend this morning with you into the afternoon. We'll be back again later, won't we, for a launch party. Not any old launch party, though.
No, we've got some brand new exclusive launches to Crafters TV, which I'm ridiculously excited about. I can't wait to see you then. So we're back at 4 p.m. for that, aren't we, Joe? But right now, I know that you've got an amazing craft vault for everybody.
You caught me. I mean, Civil Waters. I thought in my head, I thought they were longer. I mean, I've seen them about 47 times, so I should know exactly how long they are. Those graphics. Right. I want to dive into the craft. It's a really good one for you today. It's buy one get one free, which is fantastic. So we're going to start off with the multimedia dies. Now you've just seen those large patchwork dies. We've got some really lovely little ones for you. So you're buying one and getting one completely free of charge. So you've got this one here, which is the apple cores. These are of course a smaller, much smaller die, but these are also great for paper piecing, these smaller ones. You buy the apple cores, we're going to give you the diamonds completely free of charge, which is amazing value for money. $6.99, $9.95 for those ones. Now, someone's had their fingers in my zips on a roll today. I know, can you believe that? Leann, I can see, has been in these. It's like when you've got, you've got a mice or a mouse even at home, and it's been nibbling things. That's what Leann's like in the crafty sense. Like I can see she's been nibbling the corner of this packaging just here. A third of the stock of these is already gone. Now, these are great value on their own. $15.99 individually if you get them. Really great value at that, because what you've got is you've got your zip on a roll, and you've got your what's the technical word for the pulley bit, Leann?
Slider.
The slider. Sliders for a lot of people would be those things kids call them, don't they? Your sandals. They wear socks. They wear socks with them. I don't get it. Do you? Socks and sliders.
Terrible.
I just don't understand. It's $15.99, $22.99 if you want to go for those ones. Now. Something that is so busy whenever we bring it to you are these, because there are our Hawaiian applique dies. Now these are fantastic because what they actually do is when you make them up, that's actually only a quarter of the design you get. So you fold your fabric in half, you fold it in half again, run it through your machine, and you actually create these really lovely Hawaiian style designs. You've got two different ones in here. You're paying for the tea leaf. We're going to send you the tea leaf and also the pineapple as well. So really, really lovely designs on those. $29.99 or $34.95 if you want to go for those. Right. some crochet on the show for you today. Now these are our crochet kits from Hooked. Now they're a cotton yarn, so they've got a very distinctive kind of style to them and texture when they've been worked up. Everything you need in here apart from the stuffing, which is very, very easy to get hold of. So you buy Kyra the kitten, and we're going to give you Paco and Pingo as well, who are 2 seals. Yeah, you get enough to make 2 in here, which is fantastic. Paco and Pingo. It's the most excited I've ever heard my producer Laura. She's like, you get 2, you can make Paco and Pingo. I think she's probably, I think she's leaving the gallery to go order these by the sounds of it. Yes, you get both of them. So actually they're what, $4.99 each, which is incredible value for money. The next one we've got is your decorative panel. Now these are fantastic. These are really great at like cutting like an aperture into a project. So say you were making like a little zippy bag. Say the zippy bag that Leanne had made earlier was made out of like leather or cork or something like that, and you wanted to cut an aperture and then have a contrast fabric behind it, just as has been done here in the picture. These are brilliant for that. They're also tessellating as well, so it means that you can line them up and continue that pattern too. $11.99 or $16.95. If you want to go for those. You've got in here the decorative flower panel, and you've got the decorative mosaic panel as well. Now these are super cute, these next one. These are a little die set, and they allow you to create these adorable little applique pieces. So you've got the hedgehog here, which is that one there, as you can see, $7.99 or $10.95. But you also get the little deer as well. If I turn them around, you'll see what I mean. These ones are actually limited stock already. You've been shopping ahead of us there. They are super cute, and they would work lovely actually with the felt bundles that we bought you earlier in the show today as well. $7.95 or $10.95 to get both of those, which is great. Right, well that was the softer side of life. It was absolutely amazing. I've loved it. Congratulations if you got hold of everything that you wanted this morning. Don't forget as well, next week, I won't be here. John Scott will be here. He'll be here with John Scott Sewing World in the morning from 9 until 11, and then he'll also be here, I believe he's with Sarah next week for Softer Side of Life, which will be from 11 till 1 as usual. I'll still be here in the evening, of course, for Launch Party, which is fast becoming one of your favourite shows of the week. Myself and Leanne will see you back here later today for that. Remember as well, we have got a world exclusive launch. You'll not be able to get these set stamps that we're bringing you until July Craft Day as well. Don't forget also that we need you to get £30 or $30 worth of products in your basket, and you'll get that free gift. Remember, there'll be another free gift tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, all the way up to the 21st of June. Right, we're going to have some lunch. I'm back on my diet, so it's salad today after 2 weeks of being an absolute bloater. So I'm going to have some salad. Leanne, what are you having for your lunch?
I've got a ham salad with an egg.
Oh, with an egg? How continental. Right, we'll see you back here in a few hours. Take care.